every 12 to 18 months on average, and they are guilty of using cotton buds, or what's known as Q-tips in America. So giving them a slap on the wrist, told them not to use cotton buds, because what happens, it pushes wax further in. And they, of course, know it's not the right thing to do, but it's just a habit. And so we're just in the left ear here. Now, the patient's ear canal is quite large, and although I'm using a standard Zollner suction probe, when it's in situ, when it's in the ear, it looks like a fine end gauge because it's so small relative to the diameter of the patient's ear canal. Now, they have got this mushy, slushy type of wax that's very hard to suction, so I've just put some olive oil earwax spray into the ear, and what the olive oil earwax spray does, it binds this wax together and it just facilitates easier extraction. And we've got a good suction grip here, and I'm going to try and remove this in one large piece. And you can see how I manoeuvred it around the bend. So the ear canal has two bends, one about 0.5 centimetre into the ear canal. So in this case, the initial bend goes to the right, and then about a further 0.5 centimetre in, so a centimetre into the entire ear canal, it veers off to the left again. So we have this S-bend, and that's designed to protect our eardrum. So if there's any, I'll come back to that. There's the patient's eardrum, slightly red. So I was just, sometimes when the eardrum's slightly red, they could have glue ear. Did a pressure test to measure the mobility of the patient's eardrum, because if there was glue ear, catarrh behind the eardrum wouldn't vibrate, but the patient's eardrum is vibrating perfectly. Yeah, so this S-bend, it's a natural defense mechanism. If you have an object that goes into the ear, it'll have to go around the two bends before it reaches the eardrum. So it's just, it's evolved in such a way to kind of mitigate any risks of any foreign bodies, like a twig, for example, going into your ear, perforating straight through your eardrum. Left ear done, into the right ear, and this again, the wax is really mushy and slushy. Just put some olive oil spray immediately, and you can just see at the bottom of the ear canal that soft wax getting suctioned up. And so we are near the entrance here. And when you use oil, or any drops really, when you suction, you're just got to be careful, because you can get a slight blur on the screen, and you've probably seen that a couple of times, and you learn to manage that actually during the procedure with a bit of experience. So in a moment, you can see some oil there. So in a moment, I'm going to peel and lift this plug of wax. You can see how slushy and mushy it is. You can see the imprint of the suction probe into the wax. I don't know if you saw that before I inserted the suction probe in, you'll see where the suction probe previously had embedded itself into the slushy plug of wax. It's still a bit blurry, so I'm just mopping up some of the oil first. And I'm going to just wipe the lens you saw there. I'm going to go back into the ear, and we're going to peel this off the posterior canal wall. There's that impression, that indentation I was referring to. So, and we're just hovering over the surface of the wax. Earwax can be quite tedious to remove at times. You need a lot of patience to remove wax. Occasionally, anyway, procedures can exceed 10-15 minutes comfortably. You can see here now I'm just peeling it off the back canal wall. I'm not sure, we'll see. I may put some more drops in a moment actually. Let's see, because it is still quite slushy here. And the way to remove, you want to, so maybe I didn't need another gulp of earwax drops. So when you've got slushy wax like this, the idea is not to push the suction probe too firmly against the wax, because you're just going to block it. You want to just hover over the surface. Lovely healthy eardrum. You can actually see the patient's incus, also known as the anvil, the middle bone. Just mopping up around the edge, the perimeter. Patient symptoms were alleviated. Very happy indeed. It's the first time they've had suction done. Historically, they've had it irrigated at the GP practice that they're training in. So they were pleasantly surprised by how